This time on Woody's Garage. Can't you get at least one of them working?
So here's my idea for the camshaft fix. It broke off fairly clean. There's a little piece that is kind of missing. I'll show you. You see it's pretty clean on this side. See if I can rotate this without it falling apart. On this side we got a little tiny divot thing right there. And you might notice it's in the drill press. So stage one is going to be clean both these ends with some brake clean, etc. Put enough JB weld on here to kind of glue it together. Like looking at the camera and trying to do this. Like so. Then this bit here, oh, nicely done. That bit there is going to fit right into here. And then I'm going to take this 25 pound or 15 pound weight, feels like 25, and put it on top of here to put enough weight to hold it down so that it kind of glues up that way. I've already tried it out, seems to work pretty good. Wish me luck. I think it looks good. Well, here's the Tecumseh camshaft that I put together with JB Weld, and yeah, it's skewed off. The weight of it pushed it to the side, so see if I can break it apart and do it again, or is it cooked? Well, today I'm going to try to combine these two engines. One's an HS50 on your left, and the other is an HSSK50 on your right. If you know the history of the one on the right, it had some compression problems because the screws in the head broke off and I couldn't drill them out straight, and I think when it gets warm, I think it has some compression problems. But the piston and the connecting rod are the same in both the engines. Is the side cover the same? Because I'd like to take that crank too if it is. I think it might be. The crank is the same, but obviously that's a 1-inch crank. I made that keyway there, and I have a brand new clutch for it, so yeah, I'd like to use that if I can. The cam in the HSSK2 could also work in the HS40, so that's a plus as well. Okay, we got them kind of stripped down. This was a brand new head gasket, and it's totally deteriorated. I think because of the compression loss, you know, it blowing by and it melted it. I mean, you can see my screws weren't that far off. I'll have to fuck it up though. Alright. HS50 has the points and condenser and mag inside the flywheel. HSSK50 on the outside. Does that mean the cranks will work? Seem like they're about the same size. Look at, it's kind of weird. You see a place for screws there, like they are here, but nothing up top, unfortunately, for this. Also, you see this plastic thing that's in place of like the cam for the points. So I gotta try to get these guys out. Look out. Yeah, you can see those came off just fine. Got kind of a bearing here. By the way, this engine is much lighter than this guy. And you can see on this one I sheared another flywheel key, so it was still screwed up. I might have a problem. I think the bores are a little bit different. This one seems a little bigger than this one. Yeah, maybe not. No markings for first or second or standard or whatever, so I'm assuming they're both standard. They look about exactly the same. It's the same damn block. Yeah, the side covers I believe are interchangeable, but the thing is, the crankshaft right there is the same size as right there. This thing actually seems a little thinner. Crazy. So this side cover might just fit. So now we're going to take out the piston and the connecting rod and swapola. Alright, here we are. This is the HS50 piston and crank. HSSK50 piston and crank. Short skirt, long skirt. According to Jack's Small Engine Repair, when I opened the schematics, these were supposedly the same pistons, same connecting rod, and same crank. Now, is this the wrong piston? This one ran fine. We're going to try to put this crank and this piston into the HS50 and delete this one. Just does not seem right. It kept breaking keys. That doesn't really look quite right. The long skirt may be the problem. Let's see what happens. What the hell? Okay, one of the first things we need to do is see if this guy sits in there, that the point's right on, points cam, that this fits on this shaft. Put the camera down. It's like as far on as it goes. Is that right? Yeah, it looks like the other one. It's the old one. Alright, I'm game. Feels good. Alright, here's the sad reality. The HS50 piston is not going in the HSSK. The HSSK will go in, but you know, definitely is loose. Now what? Yeah, I'm really puzzled now. Okay, the connecting rods have the caps on. This is the HS50 that failed. It actually feels pretty smooth, although this is where I was suspecting that it was screwing up, like it was catching there. And this is the HSSK50, and it doesn't feel as smooth. So, I mean, I've been thinking of swapping just the connecting rod to the HS50, but at this point, I don't really know. What a waste of time, huh? Could be doing that. Alright, I tried this with the HS50, the piston that came with this, and the connecting rod from the HSSK and the HSSK crankshaft, and no good. Was kind of locking up, was kind of doing the same thing. So I'm using the HSSK piston and connecting rod and crankshaft in the HS50, and you know, I thought it was kind of a loose fit, so I put this mystery oil in here to see if it would go through the rings, you know, like it wasn't tight enough, but there's like no side to side with the piston. And this is what I first wanted to do. Don't know why I didn't do it. Don't know if it'll have enough compression or whatever. Marks lined up for the cam. So I just tried to fit the old flywheel on the HS50, and it's kind of a no-go. I mean, all that, I thought I was really close, and yeah, that crank isn't gonna work with that flywheel, I do not believe. Alright, it's the next day. We know what we gotta do. Swap out the crank again. We'll keep the same HSSK piston and connecting rod and use the old crankshaft so that we can use the old flywheel. Let's torque those bolts. It's 8.5 foot-pounds for both the HSSK and the HS50. Tappets are in. Now we're going to line up the marks again here. Right there. Right where the hole is. It's all together. It pulls over, feels good. No freaking spark. Jesus. Well, it's got a little light spark, and sure I've had things start like that before, but man, after all that, you just want a good spark. I need a break before I pull it apart again. I like to call that star right there on the cam the highest point. Why else would they mark it? Although they mark brackets right there too. It's kind of foolish. You know, just make it known, please. That's what I had for a gap. That's right on. Never seen this in my life. There it goes, the troublemaker. No prime. Choke is on, gas is off, but the bowl should be full. Alright, today I'm back to this HS40. This was the one that was on the snapper with the broken camshaft. So I did some JB Weld work inside to fix the where the camshaft attaches on the inside, and then I ran it with this cam in it, and seemed to run pretty good. But I can't use it on the snapper because it doesn't have the extension on it. And I was thinking, yeah, maybe for a mini bike, I don't know. So I found out that an HSSK 50 has the same cam as this engine, or at least that's what Jack Small engine diagrams say. So I got one. One of these I tried to repair with JB Weld. Yeah, it's not going to work. Was it this one? Uh-oh, now I can't tell them apart. Yes, because one has the extension intact. Oh, I'm sorry. One has the extension intact here, which I need to stick out. I put some calipers on it, and it seems to be the same measurements as this cam, which is also an HSSK, I think. Or was it... Or was it the cam out of this? I don't even know now. But so let's see if this works. We're also going to need the tappets from the HSSK too. So hopefully they're the same. I should probably look those up before I throw them in. Yeah, it's really humid outside today, so I figure this is probably a good job. Try to get over with indoors in the musty basement. If we can get this off. Yeah, I got that that cam for 10 bucks. You know, I saw them for HS40s. People wanted $50 for them. And I said, well, this job is never going to happen because I'm not going to spend $50 on one. And he actually had it for 15 bucks, and I was watching it, and he offered it to me for 10 bucks. I said, shit, why not? Okay, we just got to break this thing loose and we'll get it off. We'll take a look. There we go. It's all full of oil too. And no, I'm not going to drain it this time. I'll drain it after I see if it runs. But I got to kind of blindly put the parts in. Well, not too blindly. I know where they go. It's like the two lifters go here, the tappets, and the cam goes like into a hole in there. I'd like to re-show that hole, but once again, no, I'm not going to empty the crankcase out for that. And then we just got to line it up with the mark here, with the mark here on the cam. Make sure we put in the right one too. Both tappets are in. Yeah, that cam's in. Now we got to clean up this baby dew off the side of this and just put it on. Alright, that's on. Fits just fine. Let's see if it leaks oil out of the side or pulls over. Pulls over just fine without a plug in it. Yep, that feels very nice. And next step will be putting it on the snapper snowblower. And you know, I think the repair that I did inside, plus the fact that there's going to be, you know, a little bit of a load on this at all times, is going to take, you know, compensate it out. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's hope that it works. How about that? The Tecumseh Fest continues. We're back on the red HS50. Last time I put this together, I tried to start it and it felt like it was pulling over really hard. Today I pulled it, it didn't feel so hard. I sprayed some gas on the carb. Boom! Okay. I knew that the float was stuck. So I said, I'll take off the bowl. This is like a new carb. That's all water. I think the water got in there just from being outside, just dripping in. Ugh. But look at the bowl. Holy crap. So we'll clean that up and we'll give this a start before we put the HS40 on here, because it's a nice object to start an engine on. Clean enough to run it. Boy, that looks like crap. They get wasted so quick. And like I said, this is like a brand new carb. Little water, a couple of weeks, and that's what it looks like. Alright, I kind of see another problem here. There's a little water in this gas, which came out of this tank. This tank is from a, I think a Toro snowblower. You can see a little hole in the top. So I think there's your culprit. Okay, we emptied out that tank. Boy, you know, this might be why the CL90 was running like crap. Boy, I never really realized. Can't keep a tank outside like this. Not with that hole. See it? You know, how many times do I put gas into things with this? Wow, lesson learned. Yeah, hopefully better gas. Looks like a little two-stroke oil in that. I think I drained my boat tank and filtered it through the mister filter, so there shouldn't be any water in this. I hope. Let's see if this engine starts. Didn't sound too bad. sound bad. I turned off the gas because it was pouring out of the carb. But I think that engine's gonna run. Yeah, so I thought I'd just hastily throw a random carburetor I had kicking around on there, and it's leaking too. So this nut and bolt setup is the worst ever, especially if the threads are a little hard. It's so hard to get them on and off. That one I couldn't even get the wrench in there. So I got to clean a carburetor before I can do this, but I'm so eager to see this one run that I don't want to pull it off of this base. So I'll think about this for a couple of minutes. Yeah, we got a carb that doesn't leak. This was off the HSSK50. Got to keep it in the family here, and the HSSK50 did run, but not that great, but that's good enough for me. For about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so, and there's no adjustments on this carburetor. It's all set, valves, jets, and it's probably dirty too. So as soon as I open it up without any choke, it died. But I don't know. I don't have much faith in this engine, but hell, it runs. Far cry from what it was doing, which was sharing flywheel keys and the piston locking up. Yeah, and there's something else I didn't factor into this extended shaft. HSSK50 camshaft, extended camshaft. And that's that the old one had a keyway. What kind of deal is this? There's one on each edge. Be nice if I could slip something in there. The set screws are going to end up being it's going to be about like that. The set screws are way back here. So if I cut a keyway for it, I'm going to have to take the damn camshaft out again. And maybe make one right along here. It's probably the thing I have to do. I found a key that will work, I think. But is there an easier way out of this? I don't know. I got a plan this morning. Hopefully it's a good one. This is the old camshaft that broke that I JB welded together, and it's crooked, didn't come out right. And this is the old keyway that I need to replicate. And I was thinking, yeah, if I could get the Dremel in there and get the right size wheel, it would be perfect, because it's a half moon like this. It's going to be a little tricky. This is a worn out wheel that I got now. This is a big wheel, and it's like the radius is too big. So I figure I'll start with this one, and as I'm like making the cuts, the wheel will wear down and hopefully get to about the right radius that I can make this cut. Now if I screw up, then I'll probably just take this all the way to the end and use a different key instead of the half moon. But I think this is probably the best if I can pull it off. So I got to mark the shaft over here. I think with a magic marker, it seems to start about 1/8 of an inch in, and then it goes whatever, ½ inch, whatever. We'll draw a line and try to make this work. Kind of scary. Now these edges that are filed down or whatever here, I think I might use JB Weld to fill them, just so that I have the mass there, you know, and then we'll sand it like that and try to get you know, it just filled in so it doesn't wobble. That's the plan anyway. We stacked 2 of these discs together. 3 is too much, so 2 is about as wide as we can get. That's the start. That's with 2 discs. I think I might go to 1. Just seems like I'd have things would be a little more precise. Getting there. Scary. You gotta go that deep on it. And where, like, my eyes have a hard time seeing this. That's where we are. Jesus. That's a lot deeper. Now here's where I get to the point that I'm getting kind of deep, and if I screw it up, it's gonna be a deep hole. I could go with this other type of key here, you know, just bring it all the way out. That would be easy. But you know, it might not hold up. This might be necessary for the pulley. I don't know, we're looking pretty good. It doesn't look it looks like it's too wide, but it's actually not wider than this. This just has more definition, I guess. I'll just keep going. Uh-oh, I just hit a problem. There's a hole drilled through here, and I've just reached it. Ha! Oh, crap. What do I do now? Well, the key fits in. Look at how much is down into that hole. That really bothers me. I mean, is the shaft like just so compromised now it's not going to work? Why do I do this sometimes, I wonder. I filed down that key a little bit. And I also found a fine pitch thread to go in the end here to kind of bolster it up. I was thinking as that goes in, that's probably going to hit the key and put some tension on it, you know, push it up against the pulley. But I think we're going to shorten it up a little bit. Maybe not, it can stick out, I suppose. Gotta file this down just a tad more because it's almost going on. It's actually about where it was. Looks like the set screw is fine. I can't think of a way really to apply JB Weld on the sides there to fill in those voids on the sides. Alright, here we are. Got the JB Weld on here and everything. Nice and roundish. Should fill some voids. And I think it's good to go. You'll have the key in there and the screw in the end here. And as the screw goes in, it kind of puts pressure on the key and pushes it out a little bit. We'll stack some washers underneath the screw. This one right here. So that it fits nice and snug. And hopefully that shaft will hold up.